Okay, wow. Let me get my camera up. Whoa, there I am. Hi, everybody. Started a little bit early. I'm a little bit uh, ahead of schedule, I guess. I got everything done. I was pulling the lever, pushing the buttons, and making everything happen, trying to get everything so it was working right. Welcome to Dan and Minnie's Journey, live from the basement studio in Bye Bye City Leyte, located just a few short steps from the Dunkin' Donuts. Except we're not having coffee or donuts this morning because everybody's getting sick from the heat stroke that's happening here. So instead, I have this. I have Gatorade. Stay hydrated. If you can't afford Gatorade, it's okay. Go get Buco Juice. Buco Juice has all the electrolytes in it that you need. Google it and you'll find out. Coconut water is going to make you nice and hydrated. So before we get into today's topic, I want to talk about a couple things. So Stepfather, he's going to be released or should be released in a day or two from Immaculate Conception Hospital, where he was taken by ambulance a few nights ago. Realized that he was suffering from heat stroke. And so he had hypertension that was in the high range of 150 over 100. When we took his blood pressure, he was starting to suffer nausea, pain, classic symptoms of hypertension due to heat stroke, accompanied with probably a UTI infection. We get those once in a while when we get older. So anyway, so check this out, right? I got Gatorade, but you can use Buco Juice. And so we tried to give Frank some Gatorade, but he wouldn't drink it. I don't know why. He was concerned about the sugar content. I'm dying here, but I'm worried about the sugar content in the Gatorade. So that didn't work out so well. So anyway, fortunately, on the scene where to pick him up by ambulance within about 4 or 5 minutes after the call was made was friends of ours that we've known for years. From visiting Bye Bye City Leyte and staying at the Palermo Hotel in town. And everything worked out just fine. So when I saw him in the hospital ward, when Minnie and I went to go pay him a visit, he was looking 10 times better. Of course, they had him all plugged into the dextrose. See, I'm telling you that the reason why this is so important, what the Philippines does here, anybody that shows up that they admit into the ward is going to get the IV, and this is a very, very smart thing to be doing because most of the people are suffering from dehydration. And so you have to rehydrate them. And then you'll find out that once you start rehydrating them, they start to feel better. Of course, the clue, of course, was the nausea and the 150 over 100. Those are signs of heat stroke for sure. And Frank, he had disappeared. He'd spent all day in the garden, which probably caused the event to occur. And then he went into his room. No one ever saw him until he started complaining about these issues. And then when he came out and said, "Hey, something's wrong," it was too far gone. It was too late. No home remedy kit was going to solve this problem. He was going to have to go. And thankfully, we just called brother-in-law who was working the night shift over there at the birthing center and said, "Hey," told him what was going on, and boom, he got on the phone, called for an ambulance. They were there within minutes. I mean, before we even hung the phone up, the ambulance was already at the front door. So they got him out of there really quickly, got him down to Immaculate Conception Hospital. and all is well in the world, And so he gets another cat life, I guess. Oh, by the way, I hope you guys are able to hear me okay. Somebody give me the thumbs up saying, yeah, we could hear you. I wanted to say that, I've been having all these issues with my computer, all the issues with my equipment, all the issues with sound. I just wanted to say that I am closed for sponsorships now. Yes, I'm no longer open for donations for the contest. The next thing I wanted to talk about was the contest, right? So we're seeing some newbies in here, right? Thank you, Jack. Thank you. We've seen some newbies in here, obviously for the contest, but I'll be honest with you, going to your website and then just seeing that you put the YouTube channel up just a few days ago for the purpose of the contest. You only posted like 2 videos or 3 videos, Come on, give me something. Give me something. Show me the love. Show me the love in order to get the entry. So I always thought that was rather amusing. I really don't know if that's your ninja account or your primary account. So let's go over the rules, right? For the entry, to get an entry into the Wheel of Fortune, which is the way that we're going to be doing this, and it's going to be 5,000 pesos plus. I say plus because we're gonna do the forex rate on what the equivalent in pesos is to the dollar. So the exchange rate is what we're going to be basing it on. Because originally I wanted to give an American $100 bill, and I realized I cannot do that. I can't do it because I can't get it to you. And it's better to do it this way, easier to do it this way. So whatever the exchange rate is, dollar to peso on the day for which we hand it out, is going to be based on the forex rate. Yeah, I know. I realize that. Tim, I'm not a doctor nor play one on TV. I wanted to be a doctor at one time, so I watched a lot of that television show, Marcus Welby, MD, and learned a lot about medicine by watching the television show. I'm sure the same thing happened to you, Tim. So now I walk in the hospital and they think I'm a surgeon, and so I get I get all this first class treatment. Everybody addresses me as doctor, When we were in the hospital the other day, people were just nodding. I was wearing my scrubs. Today's rate is at 55.89. So it took a leap, and it took a leap that we were expecting, right? Because the dollar, they raised interest rates 0.25 basis points, and it's going to be reflected. That's the only thing I think that's holding up the dollar right now, because there is inflation in the United States. Things aren't going so well there. And so the rate is based on a lot of different things. The main thing, though, is the interest rates and the money supply. When people need dollars also, when you go to the exchange and they need to buy dollars because they're not making enough money, they will give you deals on this rate. So sometimes that's why you have to shop around when you're planning on exchanging dollars for pesos, Philippine pesos, because some will offer different rates depending on how desperate they are in order to make profit. Yeah, Dr. Doolittle. That's right, Tim. Yeah. So anyway, we're at 55.89. So if you win the big money, wherever we're at on the exchange rate, on the day that we do the Wheel of Fortune, and it goes around and around and around, wherever it stops, nobody knows. Then whatever the rate is on that day, at that moment in time, is what the payout's going to be. So that would mean if the payout were 55 to 1, then it's going to be 5,500 pesos. So if it's 55.89, then it's going to be 5,589 pesos. In other words, that's how we're going to do it. And so this is very, very exciting. But for all you people that have flooded my inbox wanting to give money, to add to the contest, we're not doing that. I'm not set up for that. I don't want to have to pay taxes on the money coming through PayPal because it's set up as a business account. I really don't know how this works. They're telling me they're going to turn it over to the Internal Revenue Service for taxation purposes. I don't want to have to explain to them what I'm doing here. So we're closed for sponsorships. Stop flooding my PayPal with money, you guys. We have plenty of money to work with here. And so we're not taking any more sponsors, you know. All right. So that leads me to another thing about the specific rules. So you can have your one primary account showing up here in the stream. This is how you get the entry. Plus you can have two Ninja accounts, but accompanying those accounts, right, are going to be 3 gadgets. So you have to have 3 gadgets. So you can't switch between your Ninja and your primary account if you only have 1 gadget. If you have 3, then 3 gadgets have to be in play. One more thing, we've been going back, as I've indicated in the very beginning, we've been going and checking your channels. So we're looking to see who's legit and who isn't, right? If you're not legit, then we're not putting the entry in. And this will allow the opportunity for, you know, the YouTube friends that have been subscribers of my channel to gain more spots on the Wheel of Fortune, right? Because if a spot is left blank because you're just setting up a Ninja account, you want to be part of the contest, and it's the first time that I've ever seen you come to the stream. That really is what's going to catch my attention. I'm going to be going in there, checking to see who's a Ninja and who's not, and then who is the owner of the Ninja account in order to validate that entry. And you have Pacquiao Mertz, who's being compensated for taking care of all these details also. So you not only have me checking, but you have Pacquiao Mertz, who has an eagle eye, who knows all of you. She knows all of you. She knows your primary accounts. She knows your Ninja accounts, and she has a nose for nefarious activity, shall we say? So that's how we roll up here. Dan and Minnie's journey. All right, Jack, I see you in the back. I see you in the green room, and we'll bring you up in a moment. So I want to talk about a couple of more things. Okay, as many of you know, I've talked about it a couple times. I had an event occur on one of my credit cards where somebody went and charged, well, they attempted to charge anyway, a lot of money on one of my credit cards. So I'm here to tell you, if you're watching, right? If you're watching and listening, that, and I believe you only had access to one of them, and I know how you got it. I know the call center agent who asked me all those questions about, you know, what the 3-digit code is on the back, just to verify so that I could process your refund. And of course, I fell for it. I gave him all the information, you know. Don't be hanging around Dan when it comes to stuff like this. So we know who did it, right? And we understand the investigators have already paid the call center agent a visit. And that's because you have to be careful when you do stuff like this. And the reason why is because you don't know who is friends with whom. You know how the Philippines works. You know how if you have the chief of police over for a beer, there's a pretty good chance that if you complain, they're going to start doing a little bit of digging to find out how the fraud occurred. So, and of course, this speeds things up for Bank of America, the credit card that was compromised, because then they could clearly see the events that when they occurred and on what date they occurred based on what my narrative is. So I'm telling them what I believe happened. I'm telling that I only use this credit card for travel. And it's interesting that the fraudster only used the credit card for travel. And so that could only mean one thing. And they used it online for travel, not in person, no ticketing agent, you know, no face-to-face, no nothing. I said, this is easy peasy, very sleazy, but too easy not to know who committed the crime. And so they were terrified. From what I understand, the call center employee is no longer employed with that agency. and and even though wasn't arrested that day because they informed him that he's a suspect in the crime. I mean, how often do you guys how often do you ever find out who it was that actually committed the fraud? Very, very, very few, if never, do you ever. But Dan, see, Dan does a couple of smart things, right? One, I only have each credit card dedicated for one purpose only. And that makes it way easy to track down the fraud. One is for online shopping. One is for department store shopping. One is for exclusively used for banking, and one is used for travel. And so what I did was I've showed my stack of many, many credit cards, right? And so what I did was I decided, well, even though I know they don't have access to any other information, right? I'm going to go in and I'm going to go ahead and restrict every single credit card. And from now on, all I'll do is go online. And whenever I need to use one, I'll release it. So I restricted all of them just to make sure that this doesn't happen again, which is fine because I hardly ever use them. I like using cash. All right, so coming full circle on this whole thing, contest and fraud, right? They're loosely connected to each other. I'll have to leave it up to you to connect the dots. They're loosely connected to each other, okay? But Mike is saying, Mike married to a beautiful woman. I have a debit Visa only, use it online. So I put money into that account for what I need. No one can use it. There you go. So that's how you do it. That's a way that you do it. But cash is king. Cash is king. Always has been, always will be. I recommend for my audience in particular that you don't go around carrying credit cards and using them, especially in public. But this was a very unusual event where a call center employee started asking me a whole bunch of questions. I thought for a second, what the hell? But I was thinking to myself, well, it's a call center employee, and each call is being monitored. How hard is it going to be to find him if he's frauding me? So at the time the event was occurring, I did think about this. I thought, well, this guy sounds like he's going to fraud me. So it was too easy. But listen, this particular call center is in Manila. I'm in Bye-Bye. Connections. That's how you do things in the Philippines. You got to have those connects. Let's bring up Jack, who's in the house, waiting in the green room. Jack Hobson, you are live.
Hello, everybody.
How are you?
Good morning.
Good morning.
Not too bad after a few hours of sleep, but it's okay. Oh, you got that blue Gatorade.
I got the Gatorade. Hey, Jack, I just wanted to let everybody know I'm closed for sponsorships. Quit throwing money at me through my PayPal account. I'm closed for sponsorships. We have enough money to play with. There's only going to be one winner. And so all the emails, the flood of emails I'm getting, Dan, what's your PayPal account? I want to expand the pot. No, we have enough. We're closed for sponsorship. Larry's in the house. How's it going, Larry?
Oh, not too bad. Just a lovely day off. Yesterday was a little nicer, but today was in the mid-60s, so it wasn't too bad. Yesterday was in the low 70s.
Like I was saying earlier, people are falling out here in the Philippines. Everybody, most people.
I was listening. I heard about your father-in-law. I'm glad to hear you're doing better.
Yeah. Oh, hey, did either one of you see Rebuty's latest video or the Filipina P? So I swear to you,
yes,
I swear to you guys, I swear, I did not watch those videos first before coming up with my subject today. I did not. I had no idea. There's something with YouTubers floating around in the universe, where where everybody
Did you see my
talks
topic
about.
for Saturday?
What's your topic? What's your
Where would
topic?
you where would you rather live if you can't live where you're at?
I had no.
I put that up I put that up on Sunday.
I had no idea. I don't. So these thoughts, they just float around. Everybody grabs them, right?
Yeah.
I say, where would you rather live, the Philippines or the USA? Now,
well, I actually put mine up on Monday. I got the idea from
the Philippines.
what was it, Mike? I want to say, Mike, retirement, whatever it is. Him and Janet.
Yeah.
Somebody had asked him the question, if they couldn't live where they're at, where would they live? Well, Janet has never lived or really been anywhere, so she couldn't think of any place. But Mike mentioned a couple, and I'm thinking, well, I've lived in quite a few different places. I've been in California. I've been in Washington State. I'm from Indiana, is where I was born and raised. I lived in Illinois. Now I'm in New York. But where would I go if I couldn't go there? Well, that my first choice would be the Philippines, but what about the States? Where would I go? And the same thing with everybody else. If you can't live with where you're at, and you have to, if you're in the Philippines, go to a different island, or if you're in the States, go to a different state, or you can choose a different country. The Philippines could choose a different country, and the people in the United States, where would you go? Hey, Retro. Hey, Big Mac Daddy.
So Mac Daddy's here. Retro's joining us today. We got a full house. We got Jack. We got Larry Lee. We got the Gatorade going. See, when stuff like this happens, people start falling out. You gotta pay attention and start hydrating yourself. I'm not sure that works for hydration there, Jack. I think that 40-ouncer. I think that bad boy right there causes dehydration.
Works for hydration is stay in the air conditioner. Right?
Yeah.
Hey guys, this is water. Just water inside here. Ice water.
Oh, there's water. Okay.
Hey guys. Yes,
how's it going?
There's water in it.
Yeah. So anyway, I don't think we need to ask you if you would love the USA or Canada, Mike.
Is the coast clear? Is the coast clear?
Yeah.
Is the coast clear? Okay. Disguise off. I'm gonna take off this crummy disguise.
All right. We can see through the disguise.
Yeah, well, no one else can in my room, so if I can get my jacket off. It's no longer fun to be incognito anymore.
Well, I'm incognito when I go like this and shave my goatee off. Take my hat off and shave my goatee.
Hold on, buddy.
Daddy be incognito if he'd shave his beard.
I'm about ready to. Now that you mention it.
My goodness gracious! There's something else. There's another video that I thought was great. So Seth, who comes in here once in a while, Seth was interviewed by I can't think of that guy's channel name. He's big time though.
It's the big time.
Yeah, it's the first time I've seen him though, but he's got a lot of
World Zoom. No, that wouldn't be.
Yeah, that's it. World something, right?
World Zoom.
Went over to her house, right? Interviewed her.
You want to know? World Zoom hasn't been around that long, but yet he's got thousands of employees. Yeah. He's only been around
he knows what he's doing. He knows what he's doing. He does all the detailed stuff, all the stuff I absolutely do not have the patience for.
Well, he lived in Thailand. He lived in Cambodia. He lived in Hong Kong. He was a hospital administrator.
Oh, he's on the run. Is that the guy on the run?
No. But I mean, that's what he did for a living until he decided to retire. He was a hospital administrator and mostly overseas. And he owns property in Thailand, but he says with the way things are over there right now, he wouldn't live there.
I see.
He met his girlfriend, who's Filipina, in Dubai. She's a nurse, and they met, that way. And he said he was surprised how many Filipinos and Filipinas live in Dubai.
Right.
He said, well, he did not know how there was that many there when he first went there. And
So-
that's where he met his girlfriend Sheila. I think it's or Shirley. Sheila or Shirley. I can't remember. And but yeah, he started vlogging. Not even been a year yet.
Retro.
Yeah,
Oh.
Dan, you talk about Florida a lot, right? I've heard you talk about Florida, right?
Once in a while, one now and again. Only because I have 3 boys that live there in the Jacksonville area.
Oh my God, I gotta go put on my Florida shirt. Hold on.
Oh, you have a Florida shirt?
Oh, wait till you see this, bub.
Do you have a Sacramento Kings shirt?
You may not have heard you. He had his headphones off.
That was a little playoff joke.
Yeah.
I used to stay in Hollywood, Florida for a while.
Hollywood. Everybody wants a Hollywood in their town.
Right there next to Davie, Florida, where the Seminole Indians own the Hard Rock Cafe Casino.
Hey, they have a casino? That's the Hollywood for me.
Well, they're the ones who got the Indian casinos going.
Ah.
They sued the federal government because Florida would not let them run their bingo on Saturday night, which would cause traffic jams on A1A in Davie. They said, well, we're allowed to do that because we're Indians and it's a reservation.
Right.
And they took it to the federal government.
Oh, I love it.
And they won.
Beautiful.
Yeah,
Hey,
my mom got it for me while she was in Florida at Disney World. Of course, she didn't bring me back any Disney stuff.
all you got was that lousy T-shirt, right?
Awesome, guy. I love my mother. That's something else.
All I got was this
That's something else from Florida that the rest of your crew knows I have.
We have Panay in the U.S. We got Mike had a comment saying that he's retired. He's retired. He don't do YouTube. That's how I feel kind of some days. But hey, all of a sudden I got inspired to push it out. Oh, beautiful.
She also got me a purple Minecraft sword because let's face it, let's get right here. My whole family is obsessed with the color purple.
I see.
In a sadistic, weird kind of way, we got the family sword.
And
Mike said he went to the Philippines and didn't get a T-shirt. Well, Mike, that's your fault. You could have bought it.
I can see the blue.
I'm not so sure they make them big enough for me, Mike.
I think it's blue.
Yeah, I got a 90s jacket on to go with the colors.
By the way, guys, Jack, I wanted to encourage you to go in there and watch that video that the Filipina P just did, because she had 2 Filipino Americans that she was interviewing them, and I was surprised at some of the. I wasn't surprised. I was shocked at some of the answers, particularly from that one gal who said that she'd rather date a Filipino. As a matter of fact, I believe she said she was in a relationship with one, a dating relationship.
Oh, you're talking about the Filipino P? Yeah, one is.
Yeah.
I think it's
And Panay, I can't give out jackets. This is Dan's.
Wait. Stand by, Larry. What did you say, Jack? Jack, what did you say?
I think a lot of Filipinos like to date Filipinos because they don't want to leave the country, and because they live close by their family. Or everybody lives in one house or something like that. It's just kind of a weird thing, but I'm not.
Lazy Larry.
Yeah, and then I heard the same thing over on Rebeauty's channel when she was interviewing 2 Filipinas, and one of them said that what they miss about dating a Filipino is how the men bring them gifts and their fun and flowers and things like that. I was really amazed. And on Filipina P, she was saying, the gal she was interviewing said that Americans are kind of casual in their dating, in their persona. They're very casual about the way they present themselves. Like, hey, I've been thinking about asking you out. Hey, you You want to
That's
go? You
me.
want to go? You want to go out sometime?
Hey, that's me.
And don't forget now, in the also in the piece, she said the girls said, where an American would try to kiss them on the first or second date, where
Yeah.
it takes a Filipino about a month to work up the courage to kiss them.
Yeah, but she didn't say really. Is that good or bad? I mean,
No, but she just because the P asked him what some of the differences was.
I mean, when
So
I'm
that would be up
when
to the
I'm in the
girls.
game, when I was in the game, I don't care if you're American, French, or Philippine. I'm up in there, right? The first date,
That's 'cause
the
you're
first
American.
date. I got tongue action going in there. They're pushing me off. Get off of me! Get off of me! I'm all up in there.
Well, and remember
I'm
now,
too young
in
for
Boy,
this.
Beauty's one, they were also talking about the thing that with a guy, the Filipino, would text him all the time and ask him how they're doing, where the American might text, the Westerner might page him once and say, "Hey, are you alive? Okay, well, good. Talk to you later." And that'd be it.
Are you kidding me?
Yeah, you're interrupting me while I'm watching the game.
Yeah.
Lazy Larry and Dan. Now, while I was with my short 4'9" woman, I was always checking up on her. I made go like, "Hey, how you doing?" But I always called my 4'9" dwarf of a Scottish woman to see how she was doing, because I worry about her, But we're no longer together, so you see how that went. So
Well, I'm going to tell you, some American, especially American women, they would probably say, "Hey, you're smothering me," if you call them all the time, because they're the same way we are. "Hey, how you doing? I'm doing great. Got any plans for this weekend? Hopefully, we're going out." And you don't talk again for a couple of days.
I'd like
If
to
you
meet a
call them back an
Filipino
hour or
woman
so
just
later,
to
it's
feel
like, "Bro,
appreciated.
we just got off the phone. What's going on here?"
See, now I snap my fingers and go, "Hey, I'm the Mac Daddy."
What time are you coming over?
Me, I don't know. I'm trying to think. I'm trying to plan in my head how I'm gonna afford it and all that, and what time I tell my mother, "Look, I'm done with America. I need to go to the Philippines." I'm not even sure if I'm gonna do it due to the fact that my family shelters me because of this.
Well, like I said, my plan is to do it in 3 to 5 years, but who knows? I may have health problems by then. I mean, I don't now, but it's going to take me at least 3 years to get all my bills paid off and some money saved up.
Oh hell, Larry! By default, you're probably going to end up living to be 110.
Well, that's fine, but am I going to have the health to enjoy it?
I got a question.
My mom's 97, but she really doesn't have the health to enjoy it. We lost Jack.
Oh crap, we lost Jack. I have a question, guys. Have any of you heard? I know a lot of us eat ramen or have eaten ramen, like Maruchan ramen. But have any of you had the soy sauce flavor? There's a soy sauce flavor, which I just found out today.
My son eats Filipino ramen.
Gotcha. Well,
I haven't had ramen noodles in a long time, but I've
which are known as my fun. MAIFUN, my fun.
Sorry,
and they come with soy sauce, fried onions, and hot sauce. And I like a garlic seasoning pack.
Well, Panay in the USA says her main channel is Panay in Georgia, where she lives with her husband.
Got it.
So congratulations on being here. Now, Panay, is your husband Filipino or is he American? Or, well, he's an American living here, but I mean, is he from the Philippines or is he from the U.S.? Let's be a little more politically correct here, because I hate to say this, just because I'm Caucasian don't make me American. I could be from Canada. You're American by either birth or choice. If you come here and live here, you can choose to become an American. I don't care what race you are.
Well, my family's Pennsylvania Dutch.
Yeah. Well,
and my one grandfather was English.
Like I said, I can trace my family back to the pre-Revolutionary War on my mom's side, on her mother's side.
My family goes back that far.
Well, my grandmother's family goes farther back.
My family.
Hold on that. my grandmother was half Native American. I'm talking about her white side could go back
Mike,
to pre-Revolutionary
hey,
War.
Mike is saying we would let you come to Canada, Larry. Well, that's why Canada's so jacked up, Mike.
Hey, Tim, take care. Tim says he's got to go.
All right, see you later, Tim.
My family has
I
muskets.
enjoy Canada whenever I go there. I really do.
My
Kinda,
family has
Well,
muskets.
the best part of Canada is that you can always come home.
My family has muskets from the Revolutionary War.
But like I
Is
said, I enjoyed Toronto. I enjoyed Montreal. I've never been to Quebec, the city. I've been to Vancouver, Canada. I've been to
I don't think
Niagara.
I don't think anybody'd ever want to go to Quebec. You know, I think you better stick to Montreal. Yeah.
Well, Montreal was great. It was
Yeah.
great. I liked it.
You better
So was
sharpen up
Toronto.
on your separatist history and your French before
Well, no,
going to Quebec.
Montreal's in Quebec province.
I've been to Quebec.
I'm talking about Quebec City.
I know, but I'm just
London.
saying. But I mean, they're the French there too. But
Yeah, they'll
there's
kick
a
you
lot
out of there.
English in Montreal. There's a lot of English-speaking people in Montreal. You go to Quebec, it's almost all French-speaking. And but at least that's the way it used to be. I have not been there, but I know people that have been there.
The charm of Montreal, the charm for me was all those going into all the cafes that are below ground level. You know, where you go down.
Oh yeah. The tunnel system. The thing I found really interesting was the Bastille of Notre Dame. They got this really old church built back in the 1800s, if not older. It was an Irishman who was actually Protestant, not Catholic. He was what do they call him? Architect, and he's the one that from New York City went up to Montreal and built that Catholic church, and it is absolutely gorgeous. It's open; you can go in and go on tours. They still have services there certain times of the week and day. You're not allowed to vlog in there. They will sell you pictures and stuff like that. At least when I was there, you could. But it is an absolutely gorgeous church. Beautiful stained glass. Beautiful wood
I believe
carving.
it, Mike. I believe it. Same as in the United States, you have more Filipinas in the hospitals than you do anywhere else. You know, working there.
In
Oh, yeah.
Canada, there's a lot of Filipinos and nurses.
Yeah.
I'll tell you the truth now. If you're going to marry a Filipina, and you're young enough, I would say bring her to the States. And the reason why I say that is because she has to, for her to get anything out of your Social Security,
Right.
she has to be an American citizen. You have
That's
to
the
be
most
married for
important
5 years before
Mhm.
you can do it. So if you're young enough and you're going to get married and not somebody my age, no. If she's already here, fine. But you're not. I wouldn't bring her here to get married. Then stay here for 5 more years because I don't want to have to stay that unless we did it right now. I don't want to stay that long.
well, can I
You know?
add
Yeah,
something
so-
to that?
Yeah. Do it.
I'm 58. My girlfriend is 37. She has a son that's 9 and one that's 12.
You
Yeah,
don't
but
even
you're
look
young enough.
58.
To bring them here would be the choice because she could then get a job and work here, make a lot more money, and it would be a lot more economical for her children to attend school in America since it's
Yes.
free.
That's what I said. But you're
Yes,
young enough to
sir.
do. I'm going to be 70 this year, and
Right, I'm 58 and I'll be 59 this year.
Oh,
And-
wait.
Like I
You
said,
know what, Edward? Something you said caught my attention. Education's free until you get to college. And then I would send them back to the Philippines to be educated because it's too expensive here to send a kid to college.
but what I'm
Well,
saying is
Expensive
that
in the
college may
US,
be too
but
expensive,
the education system here is a
but
little
they can get both technical education at a really accelerated discount in Pennsylvania, and it's a good way to go.
Well, like I said, once they're of age, leave it up to them. Once that 9 year
Well,
old
I'm
is
just
18 or
saying, but
20,
while they're in high school, they can get a VOTEC education and graduate
well, yeah. But what I'm
with
saying is,
As a
you
matter
take
of fact,
professional
those two
certificates.
girls that the Filipina P
that's
was
what I was going to bring
interviewing,
up.
yeah, they're both here for college.
Well,
Well,
yeah. Well, here's a thought though.
they were born in the states, both of them, from my
Yeah.
Yeah,
understanding.
you're
Their dad
missing
is like
something, Dan. To
their
if
mom
they
still
work
works in the states.
if they work at a teaching hospital, you can work there for 6 hours a day and attend school for 4 hours a day on the hospital. So they can get their college sponsored and paid for depending on where they work.
Well,
Gotcha.
like I said, Dan was talking about those two sisters. Their sisters. Their mom and dad both were nurses. Now their dad
Right.
was 13 years older than their mom, but like I said, this is in the states, so I mean, in the Philippines, that's no. Who cares? You get much more than 10 years in the states. Some people are going to look at you a little sideways.
Well, there's
Uh,
a
no. Well, let me go ahead here. So they, I think they were in the Philippines a couple times maybe before they, but once they graduated from high school, they decided they wanted to experience the Filipino culture, and they're both going to college. I'm going to say probably a Silliman because uh, the P's in Dumaguete area, and their dad is in the Philippines as well. Their mom is still back in the States working because, like I said, she's 13 years younger than the dad.
Party on, Papa.
And well, he's probably there watching over the girls, make sure they're safe, because the girls don't speak any. Well, they did when they came over. They didn't speak any Tagalog or Cebuano or anything besides English because that's what they spoke around their house. Now they knew a lot of the food because their mom cooked Filipino food. They ate rice at least once a day, not every meal like a lot of Filipinos do. So, but they wanted to immerse themselves in the actual culture. And they said
Oh,
because
Mike is
mother's
saying,
English. Go
I
ahead.
tend to agree with what Mike has to say. Mike is saying the schools in the U.S. aren't as good as in Canada. Yeah, I kind of believe that, even though I don't have any
I
experience
don't
with
know
it.
what he's talking
You see
about
what
for
he says his
school though.
daughter makes?
Well, I'll
They
tell you
don't
what,
make that
any
kind of money here
university
in the
that would
States.
give me a degree needs to have their head examined.
Well,
But what I'm saying is though, you take the if you're talking schools like grade schools and through high school, oh yeah, they underperform, and it's because so many of them, so many of the
But
teachers.
generalizing, you're right. You're right. Generalizing is not such a great idea. That's what I just did.
yeah.
I generalized. It's not such a great thing to do.
No,
Well, here's a thought.
Yeah.
My significant other would come here and she'd work in environmental, which is basically housekeeping at a local hospital,
Mm-hmm.
6 hours a day, and she may take a course in radiology, nutrition, or something else that would allow her to expand. CNA, certified nursing assistant, and
Right.
go on from there.
No,
So
I like the plan. I like the plan. As a matter
it's
of
all
fact,
included in the pay.
I
Her,
know
her,
I know people that are doing it right now.
her kids can go to regular high school, and while they're in high school, do what my son did: go to the VOTEC, and they have machine shop, welding, nursing, electrician, refrigeration, diesel mechanics, auto
well,
mechanics,
people
auto
seem to forget.
body.
Well, a lot of people seem to forget though,
I
and
like it.
you're,
I
you're
like the
he's
plan.
alluding to it. A lot of tech jobs, technical jobs like mechanics and stuff, welders can make as much money, if not more, than a lot of college graduates.
They have
Want
they
their
have the
degree
one
in.
that I like. They have a CDL course and a heavy equipment operators course. So you get your CDL and you get your heavy equipment operators, and you go work for waste management at the landfill.
Well,
Listen, I can't deny it. There's more upside to the plan than there is downside. I mean, there really is. I
Well,
mean,
I'm
I've seen
thinking,
people. I've seen people do it. The whole thing is, it really benefits the children a lot. I mean,
well,
a lot.
here's where I'm going with this, Dan.
Yeah.
It has to do with what would their opportunities be in the Philippines versus the United States. And keep in mind, if they became United States citizens, they could go in the United States military as well.
Right.
So there's a lot of opportunity that way, and they may want to
No,
someday
I
get back to
agree.
the
No,
Philippines.
I'd be doing the same thing. In fact, I did the same thing. Hey, Mike,
What?
married to a beautiful woman, says private schools in the USA are good, but they still have mass shootings. Our schools don't have mass shootings. You know what? I think
That's still a very rare thing in the United States, as many
I
as
would
we
like
have.
Mike to explain why he thinks that is. That's what I would like. I
I
wanted.
think they have a lower gun culture than we do here in the
Well,
States.
I'm not so sure it's connected to gun culture. The reason why I'm asking Mike this question is because does it have something to do with the way the schools are built? For example,
Do you have guards?
yeah, do you have one way in, one way out? It's because of is it due to the weather? You know, is that a reason why you would have schools built in a pod? In other words, the schools that I've been in where they haven't had any problem whatsoever with that type of activities, they were designed very well where they were all indoors. And so you had to come through a checkpoint, and then it was all set up in pods where you had a centralized security
Well, it
staff.
has more to do with that.
I
The
think
white
it does.
supremacists,
That's my guess.
the white supremacist movement has taken over a wing of the Republican Party, and they dominate the gun culture and everything else here in America. And if you look at a lot of these people that are popping up shooting people, there's a lot of Republican white supremacists out there.
Dude.
Yep.
Oh, dude. Oh, no, you did not go there, Mac Daddy. You did not
I have
go there.
to.
He's
They're
leaving
there.
out the fact that the trans just shot up a Christian school. That was a trans that did that.
Yeah, but look
That
at
had nothing to do with
Pittsburgh.
white supremacy.
Wait a minute. Look at Pittsburgh. Look at Texas on the weekend. Pittsburgh last year. Texas on the weekend. Charlottesville.
And I got a question. I got a question about that guy in Texas. Now I know they're saying he was connected to the neo-Nazi white supremacist, but with his name, he sounds Hispanic.
He was Spanish, no doubt about it.
That's what I'm saying. How does
All
he
right,
have
hey, you guys are going sideways on me. You know, we were doing okay until that moment. But
All right,
really,
sorry
the
about
discussion
that.
was reasons to that goes in the category of why you wouldn't bring your Filipino or family to America.
Well, I'm just saying,
We're
as much
talking
as
about-
that. Oh, you're
we're
talking about
talking about where would you
schools and
live?
guns.
You know, what's
Is that
in
mean?
I
other
would
words?
live in the Philippines.
Would you rather live in America or would you rather live in the Philippines?
Philippines.
I'd rather live in America.
The Philippines for me.
But
The
you got to remember,
Philippines is
Daddy,
beautiful.
huh?
The Philippines is beautiful, and I'd love to spend a lot of time there. But I'd rather live in America.
Not me.
Gotcha.
Philippines. Ooh,
But what's the reason now? You got to give the reasons. You just can't blurt out,
the people?
Well, the reason is
the-
opportunity in America is much grander and much larger than the Philippines.
But I don't plan on having.
For the
any
moment
kids.
it is. I agree with you. For the moment it is, but it will not last forever because we're going through quite a bit of change right now.
Well, nothing lasts
Yes,
forever.
sir.
But for
That's
me,
true.
and keep in mind where I live, I don't live in like the modern end of the United States. I live in like the Whiskey Rebellion area. I live in the Laurel Highlands of Western Pennsylvania.
Who's got a
Someone-
two
Yeah,
guns on?
someone's got a second device on. Hey, Mike is saying he's saying that it's because of the weapons. There's no weapons.
Well, he said there's no auto weapons like AR-15s.
Yeah,
But
you see,
I'm
but
also saying it's the culture. I think the Canadians are a much more friendly culture than here in the States. We're a lot more divisive here, and that's you got to look at it when the mass shooting started.
Road rage in
Columbine.
Canada is like you go up and get them to the hub.
If you're looking at that, because we became more divisive as we go along. When we weren't so divisive, we didn't have all this. You know, we go back 15, 20 years ago, we didn't have all this.
The
We had,
AR-15 culture came about in the 80s.
but that's more. How many years ago? You're talking 40 years ago. We go back 15. We don't have all this trouble.
Sure, we did.
No, we did not like we are having today. Oh no.
Not as
Well,
many, Larry,
let's.
but
Hey, how about we talk about stress levels, because that was one of the subjects that came up on either Rebuti or Filipina P or somebody's. It came up on somebody's channel. I can't remember which one, but they started talking about how once they moved to the Philippines, their stress level almost it just went down. Oh, that was Geo that talked about that.
Yeah, that was Geo.
That was Geo.
I didn't see. I saw the thumbnail for it, but I didn't see the video.
That was amazing, because those guys, him and Gracie's husband. What's his name? Gracie's husband. For some reason, every time I see the guy, I just say, "Oh, that's Gracie's husband." But anyway, he was saying
I'm not sure who Gracie is.
Yeah, Gracie had her own channel. She sings. But anyway, it came way, way down, and I know that feeling because I'm living here. So,
well, there's a lot of Fox News that brought a lot of stress with their information and
I think you're onto something. I think you're onto something big time, because we spend much more time in America watching news channel, watching TV, than they ever would even think about in the Philippines. They just don't live that way. They generally speaking, they live life outdoors, and we live life indoors.
And it became
both channels, CNN and Fox and some of the others, they're more divisive.
Yeah, they're bombarding us with all kinds of information. Look at what they're talking about now. I turned on Fox and I turned on CNN. They were both talking about the same thing.
Fox really isn't a news channel.
The destruction of the dollar. They were talking about the destruction of the dollar. The dollar's falling apart. The dollar is collapsing. The dollar is this. The dollar is that. If the dollar were collapsing, the Philippine peso would not have taken the hit that it took with the increase in the rate.
You got to understand, Fox News is fixed news. They're lying to you every step of the way.
So CNN. Let's get off of that.
Yeah, I think everybody's lying to us.
That's right.
Trust no one. Trust yourself. The only one you can depend on.
Larry, Fox News tells a lot more lies than CNN ever had.
Well, I don't know. How do we do a lie survey? How do we find out?
It's on YouTube, believe it or not.
Yeah. I mean, how do we find out? I mean, the conversation's interesting.
Remember
you're giving me reasons why I'd rather live here in the Philippines than America.
Fox News is like the white supremacy
propaganda on Hunter Biden's laptop.
By the way, you guys want to know what I like watching on YouTube a lot? I like watching the car chases when the cops are chasing the guys, and they're doing it live KTLA Los Angeles. I love watching that crap. I could care less about
that for you, Dan.
Yeah, I know. But you see, I yearn for it sometimes, though, Mac Daddy. That's what I'm saying. It's part of the human. It's part of being an American. It's difficult to escape.
CNN doesn't carry all the white supremacy stuff that Fox News carries, or the USA channel.
But again, we were talking about reasons why. Answer it towards
comes from. Well, these people are watching these white. These people are watching these. Wait a minute. These people are watching these white supremacist things, and they're going out and acting out about it. They're running people over. They're shooting people. They're walking into stores in black neighborhoods and opening fire. And they trace a lot of it back to Fox News.
Mike,
you can't avoid that fact.
Mike, is retirement the reason why you don't stress? You say there's nothing to stress about, but here's what I notice, okay? The stress reduction, it happened to me in stages, and I want to share it with you guys. Because I think TV, as you pointed out, it does play an integral part of this.
Sure it does.
So once I retired,
Guys, I
right?
lost sound, so I'm trying to get it back.
Okay. So I was right here. I was right here with my stress level, right? Once I retired, it goes down all of a sudden. I no longer have to worry about getting up in the morning, shower, shaving, and the other thing, and then going to work and starting off my journey by getting into commuter traffic. Then what ends up happening is I'm sitting at home still watching TV because man, Minnie is going off to work, and I haven't figured out what I'm going to be doing, and I get hooked on this channel where there's this gal singing, and her name is Pinky Gray. So I started watching Pinky Gray in the morning, and that is actually where I started getting the idea that wow, look at all the people that come into Pinky Gray's channel and watch her and participate. And it was so much fun. I had so much fun there that I started communicating with Pinky Gray. And then shortly thereafter, I realized, oh my gosh, I could do something on YouTube or with some other social media platform to keep me busy. And so while Ma'am Minnie was making her way to work every day, I was sitting there getting ideas about how to do YouTube by watching channels like Pinky Gray. And so and then later discovered Daisy Lynn Castro, and then later Larice, and then everything started to fall into place. But I started to see the stress level start to come down quite a bit. And then coming over here to the Philippines, the next major level, I would say, reduction was the selling of the house. I had no idea, until we actually got rid of it, how much pain in the ass home ownership
can do.
and all the responsibility for it. It was such a pain in the ass.
Well,
And it just kept going like that until we moved here. And then I'm like, I hardly worry about anything. The stress level is almost at zero. As Mike
your
was
wealth
pointing out.
level went up considerably too when you went to the Philippines. So it doesn't cost you nowhere near as much money to live.
That's the main thing. It doesn't. And that in itself, how you used to, you'd have this debt. You'd be servicing this debt. And then every once in a while, you'd have a month where you were just like, man, I got to actually figure out what bill I'm going to pay. I'm going to pay this credit card over here, or am I going to let that go for 30 days?
I cured all that, Dan. About 10 years ago, I started paying cash for everything.
Beautiful.
I got rid of all my credit. I got rid of all my credit card debt. I buy my cars for cash. The house I live in, I got for free. They gave it to me to take it. I pay a small rent every month.
Mm-hmm.
And, so I've structured my life to get rid of all that stress. Then I find out that they want to buy moonshine in my driveway. So I started making and manufacturing moonshine to sell them. The still was set up across the street. All I had to do was fill it and go. So
Smashes in the house.
I've been going that way. But how do I go to the Philippines now?
Well, I think you do it. I think you do it the way that you mentioned earlier. You visit.
Hey guys, I can't seem to get this one to work. I have another set. I'm gonna go get them and get my volume back.
Okay.
I cannot hear a thing anybody is saying.
All right. Hey, well, Mac Daddy, the way you do it is you get your fix and you visit once or twice a year.
Well, yeah, but what I'm working on is when they gave out COVID money here, all my neighbors bought PlayStations, game boxes, widescreen TVs. They all blew it.
I'll be back, guys. I have to fill this with water.
I bought a piece of property.
Retro, thanks.
I bought just under 1.5 acres of land, which is a good sized piece of land, for $4,500, and it's got everything on it: water, electric, sewer, everything. So it's worth about $15,000. And I'm going to sell that and take my proceeds and go to the Philippines. is what I'd like to do.
Oh yeah, I got that.
Sounds
Sounds like
great.
that sounds good.
And then pay for
That's
all their paperwork and plane tickets and bring them back here to live in my home and start our life from there and grow.
Don't be flying first class.
All right,
Oh.
sounds like I can hear you now.
Well, we can fly coach. Nothing wrong with flying coach. Fly them into
I
LaGuardia,
don't have a
jump
problem
on
with
the
coach.
trains. What?
I don't have a problem with coach. But
Well-
when I get my tickets, I try to get the seat that's at the exit rows at the doors there. So you got extra leg room. You just step up and walk forward and go to the bathroom. And you're good.
Well, I'm going to try and I ain't so much worried about that. I'm going to fly, into the Philippines, take the ocean jet to Bohol, fly into Cebu, ocean jet to Bohol, and
yes, that's the way
go
to do
take
it.
care of business.
That's the way to do it, man.
Never
Then
take
when I come
United.
back, we'll be basically just exiting with the luggage we can carry.
Mhm.
And
Tox is in the house. Hey, Tox got the chocolate. Tox got the chocolate kisses with almonds, and she did a premiere. Thanks so much, Tox. I'm sorry. I'm sorry I missed the premiere. By the time I saw the alert, it was 15. I missed it by about 15 minutes, but I'm glad you got the package.
I'm going to save $1,000 to come into the United States. And I do that by flying into LaGuardia, getting a taxi to the train, taking the train to Philly, and taking the train home to Johnstown.
Damn.
It's a lot
That's-
cheaper.
That would have saved me a lot of money coming from Detroit. I could have took that to LAX.
See, for me, it doesn't pay for me to
Mike, I
through
love
the
Bohol.
West Coast.
We'll be going there soon.
Are you?
Yeah,
I know a lot of people in Bohol.
yeah. I have a friend that owns some property there that we're going to be staying at their house.
I used to know John Norden. His YouTube channel was Crazy Monina Life in the Philippines. And John got sick and came back to the United States, had a massive heart attack, and passed away. He never made it back to the Philippines.
Oh, that's too bad.
But he had a beautiful life with Miss Monina in the Philippines. And Monina has kept a piece of property that they had together and went on. So it's a beautiful story. She continues. And she lives in San Roque on Bohol Island. And where I would be going would be Onda. And then there was Lynn and Anthony Life in the Philippines.
Oh yeah, I watch them. I watch them occasionally. I forget about them sometimes.
I did, but I haven't seen them in a long time.
They're back in the Philippines, from what I understand.
He was
He
the
was
one that
sick
got
for a
in
while.
there, and he was talking about having an enlarged prostate.
Yes.
Yeah, and so I was sharing with him my experience with interventional radiology. I'm not sure he ever got that message, but because he didn't answer me. But there's more ways to handle it than just going in there and chopping everything up.
Yeah.
It was
No
it was a
doubt.
couple of years ago that I
Dan's
watched
a doctor.
Anthony. And
Dan plays a doctor on YouTube.
But,
It's okay.
you know, the United States, what it's becoming scares me. But where I'm at, we don't have a lot of those problems. So,
no,
and where Larry's at in New York, they don't have a lot of those problems. Even though New York has
it
had
depends
it.
on where if you go down to Albany, you have a lot of those problems. Believe me. I stay out of the city, but if you go down to the city, oh yeah, you do.
Well, they had two kids that were trying to take ghost guns into my son's school here at Westmont last year, and it was on the national news. And they caught them before they got a chance to do it, and them kids are still in jail, as well they should be.
I
But
agree with you.
you know, from my point of view, though, is I'm looking at the school system, the VOTEC, because college costs so much anymore. You could be paying for college for 20 years after you get out, or more.
Hello.
So
That would have been me. Hey,
college,
Mike, why do they try and get rich off of you on the trikes and behold?
because they can skin tax.
Yeah, I suppose. I suppose they call that the long nose
That's
tax,
why
eh?
cigarettes and everything is going up.
Yeah.
You got to know how to look at them and say, "Hey, yo, I wasn't
Oh,
bored last night."
hey, I meant to mention this. Jack, you just reminded me of something. So, Man Mindy and I, so we're doing this video, right? And we're in a restaurant. Well, I didn't show the food or anything. I was a little bit embarrassed, right? So we were in a restaurant where we had some barbecue, and they bring us out. We ordered barbecue and rice. You guys can see the video. And they bring us out. I think it was the one we did where we went to the BPI bank. It was payday. They
Yeah.
bring us out this little finger meat, this little piece of meat, this little piece of pork barbecue, and with a cup of rice. And I'm looking down at them, going, I'm looking over at Mam Minnie, and she was just started laughing.
What am I gonna
She
do
goes,
with this?
What the hell is this? We came here for lunch." I go, "It is lunch. This is lunch." And she goes, "What? They're just serving this little stick of barbecue. They're calling that lunch? You know, what are you kidding me?" And so it happened again. And so the video I'm going to be putting up where we went to another restaurant that's well known in Bye Bye City. They bring us this piece of pork that was like this, and I'm like, how's a man supposed to eat? How's a man supposed to eat if they're no longer serving, a man-sized portion of meat? I mean, prices, that's inflation, it's hidden. But I mean, things are changing here. The donut sizes are getting smaller, for crying out loud. I noticed that the other day.
Donuts are smaller here than they used to be.
I
They
mean,
used
they
to,
look like little munchkins, for crying out loud. They look like little
well,
finger
now
food.
They've been making smaller size portions for years. That's how
they
they
serve us
cover
three
up the.
quarters of a donut.
Not in the
Well,
Philippines, my friend. They haven't.
when I was a kid, you bought a let's say Tootsie Roll for a penny. All right, now a couple years later, you buy a Tootsie Roll for a penny, and it's about half the size.
Well, that's the American way.
That's what I
You
said.
know?
They've been hiding the cost of things that way for years, though.
Yeah, but now it's hitting the Philippines. That was my point. Of course, we're used to them
There's a
thinking,
worldwide chocolate shortage too going on.
is it really? No
Yeah.
But I'm
kidding.
just saying.
Tox,
I'm
did
just
you
saying.
hear
No,
that? Tox, you gotta
here in the States has been that way for years. They've done that.
hey Tox,
I
you
mean,
gotta
years.
start saving your chocolate. You gotta start storing it away.
Well, that's why they're growing cacao in the Philippines, because the South American crop, because of all the hurricanes, has gotten blighted. It's got like a fungus that's attacking it. Same thing with the bananas. We could lose Cavendish bananas all over South America,
I'll be darned.
which Cavendish is a type
I
of banana.
didn't know
Well,
that,
made in
but
the
but
States.
so here's what happens. Here's what's been happening in the Philippines, where products like ice cream and things like that are starting to be packaged in smaller packages. So in the United States, of course, we started seeing this happen a few years ago. We started seeing a half gallon of ice cream all of a sudden became a quart. Then it became it became 8 ounces. I mean, for crying out loud, you're
Oh, a
killing
half
us.
gallon of ice cream today is like 53 ounces. It's no longer 64.
That's what I said. I mean, they've been hiding. They've been hiding the increase in a lot for a
And
long
they
time.
say that they do it because that's what the consumers want to buy. When I was a kid, if you went to the store, you could buy a gallon bucket of peanut butter. You
Right,
can't find
exactly.
that today
And
because of
I'm
prices.
sorry. I'm sorry. They're lying when they say they're making the same small. If you go in to buy a half gallon, you want a half gallon. They're just cheating you. That's all.
Try and buy a pound of coffee, Larry.
That's
A
what I
pound
said.
of
I mean,
coffee is now a 12-ounce can. An 8-ounce can of tuna is now 6 ounces. An 8-ounce yogurt is now 6 ounces.
That's called inflation.
yeah.
Well, there's
But
shrinking
it is
product.
the point I'm trying to make. It's here. It's here now in the Philippines where they're trying to scale everything down. And I mean, I'm a full-grown man. Now I got to go in there. I got to specify double portions. I mean, for crying out loud, cut me a break.
Half a gallon of orange juice is 53 ounces.
All
No
right,
longer
guys.
64.
Oh. All right, guys. Here's the official taste test of my Kool-Aid.
All right.
That's what you saw me stirring. Was my
Oh
Kool-Aid.
yeah.
You'll like this one, Dan. What's a 5-pound bag of sugar weigh these days?
4
4 pounds.
I just got a bag of sugar recently.
They're like 4 pounds now. They're not 5 pound anymore.
It ain't right. That's all I got to say. It ain't
no,
right.
It's not. It's not. I mean, it's one thing if you make a candy bar smaller, you can see that.
Cheers,
But
guys.
they don't tell you the size of the candy bar. Just this is your nickel candy bar. They make it a little smaller.
Larry, where can you buy a nickel candy bar?
Oh, you know what I'm saying. When I was a kid,
Come on in and
Yeah.
say hello.
but
Man Minnie wants to say hi to everybody.
Hey, Man Minnie. Hi.
Hi, Miss Minnie.
Hi, Minnie.
Hi, how you doing?
Jacqueline's mom is dead
Ah.
this morning.
Hmm.
My aunt.
Oh, okay.
Hope your dad's doing well.
No sounds. Hi to him.
She's running off doing some chore. We got illness all over the place. She's trying to help out where she can.
You know,
Let's see. Mike says a gallon of ice cream is what? $5 at Walmart.
yes, you can still buy them there.
Yeah.
But the good
Anyway,
ice
things are-
cream is more money.
You see, so I would say though that food is as expensive here as in America. The only difference that where you really gain on the economy, where
Sorry
you
about
really
that,
stretch
Jack.
your wallet is on the rent. It's your rent. You know.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Food is pretty much cheaper there too. I got to tell you.
Well, you know, it all depends.
It depends on what you're eating.
Yeah, it depends
really
on what
does.
you're eating. For
If you're buying
example,
it in the local market, it's cheaper. If you're
oh
buying
my
it in like
gosh,
John
oh my
Rogenner or the
gosh.
expensive markets, it's more.
We're getting killed here all over the place, man. I'm telling you, even in the wet markets, the price of everything
I
is
would
going
rather have
crazy.
the roadside vegetable markets is the one I would rather go. The wet markets
think-
I probably would stay out of. I'd pay them more money and go to the store.
Well, yeah,
For the-
I think
for
that
free.
I think that if they're growing, if you're stopping at a farm side stand, that you're better off. You're gonna get a better value.
Well, you see those in a lot of places in the Philippines, at least in the vlogs. A lot of the vlogs I watch. You take Valencia; they have a farmers market pretty much every Sunday down there. And then I've seen some people where they're driving along, and there's just roll after roll alongside the road of people selling vegetables. Those are the places I would stop if
Mike.
they were near me.
Mike made a point saying that if you look at this at a cereal box in the store, it's the same size and height and width, but width is smaller to confuse the eye. So they keep it the same size. It takes up the same amount of space on the shelf, but when you pull that thing out and you put it in the cart, you're kind of like looking at it like, what is this? It's a credit card sized box, you know. Brownout. Jack says brownouts here in the Philippines. That's thing that you have to mitigate. One way we do this through the generator because it doesn't happen very often. We're on the city grid, and so when we have a brownout, Minnie just goes up and fires up the generator.
Well, a lot of the Philippines, the electric companies are burning diesel fuel.
Right.
Like
Right.
on the island of Bohol. Electric
Right.
is very expensive in the Philippines.
It's very expensive. You know the electric bill here
Is double.
it almost ran exactly the same every month than it did in the States. And so that's why people here they're running fans instead of air conditioning. they try to go to the malls and go shopping and hang around places where they have air conditioning during the daytime. They come home, they fire up the fans at night, to get a breeze going.
Well, they're trying to economize, sure.
Yeah.
We
Tell me
did that
about
in
it.
Florida. We
It's like
would go out
today.
at night as
Tim is
opposed to
saying
going out during the day.
he's spending about $10K for groceries. I would say if you're single and you're in the States, you're going to spend probably about $200 to $300 a month on groceries.
I'm sorry, I spend more than that.
Yeah, I do too.
Larry,
No,
what do you spend? What do you spend?
I
How
buy
much-
chicken, I buy turkey, I
Yeah.
buy beef, I
Yeah.
buy vegetables.
What do you think your food bill looks like at the end of the month?
I spend at least $100 a week on groceries. At least $100 a week.
You'll love this one,
And
Dan.
that's not counting buying a pizza once a week.
Mm-hmm.
I
Which is
run
another
my
$27.
I run my whole house on $1,400 a month.
Yeah. Hey, you're doing good. I'm going to tell you something.
And that's for 3.
I'm telling you, our budget for running both places, lock, stock, and barrel, everything, including eating out, $1,600 per month, $1,600 per month. Both places, paying electrical, both places, water, keeping everything going, plenty of food in the house,
Now, when I say
eating out
grocery
every
bill,
day in Cebu, $1,600.
when I say grocery bill, I'm also including the your shaving cream,
Right.
your dish soap, and all that. I just spent $30-some today, and I didn't even have what I would call a sack full. I had a loaf of bread, some shaving cream. Hang on a minute. I bought a sandwich, a couple sandwiches, and that was basically it. And I spent $30, almost $40 if you want to know the truth. I spent
I'm
over
6
$30.
or 7 a month in grocery bill.
And I will go again this week for groceries.
Hey, Jack is saying he's living on $50 per month.
Good luck.
But Jack's in the Philippines.
Yeah, but we're spending at least
He could be
We're-
growing his groceries.
we're spending at least $400 a month in the
Yeah, but
Philippines.
how many of you? How many of you, Dan?
There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
There you go, guys. There you go.
All right.
All right, take care,
Thanks,
Retro.
Retro. Thanks for stopping by. We appreciate it.
May the retro
Appreciate
be
you
with,
giving us your time.
may the retro be with you. Live long and prosper, and comply, and also 1,000 welcomes.
May the 4th
do it.
be with you. I
Take
can't
care,
do that.
brother.
I'm sorry.
Take care.
I can do it like that, but I got bend the fingers. But like I said, though, you got 5 people.
Mike, take care of yourself. See you next time.
I
Mike,
buy
too.
everything that's on sale that I
Hi,
can.
Mike.
I pay $4 a pound for beef, and I grind my own meat.
Yeah.
And I pay usually about $1.89 to $2 a pound for pork, and I grind my own
Hey,
pork.
I love it when you talk dirty, Mac Daddy. I just love it when you talk dirty. You grind your own meat. Party on, brother.
I bought a meat grinder years ago because all the meat grinders in the supermarket have this little pedal on them that puts water in with the ground meat as they grind it.
Well, you know what? You're on the right track. People here, they're telling me that if you want to have bacon like in the States, you gotta cure your own pork belly.
Yes. I
Yeah.
could see that.
And I don't know how to do it. I guess I'll have to watch a YouTube video.
That's hard to do, though, because bacon is generally injected and then it's hung in a smokehouse. The problem with smoking meat like that in the Philippines is it's too hot.
Mike is saying he pays $1,300 in rent and $200 weekend groceries. You know what? $1,300 ain't bad for North
Now,
America.
wait. Now, you are talking about in Canada, right, Mike? Because in Canada, $1,300 may not be a bad price.
I
No,
own
that-
my own home and I
Where you
pay
live.
$500 a month in lot rent.
I pay
That's
I pay
still
over six. I pay over six. I won't go exact amount, but I pay over 600 for rent. I pay over 150 in electric.
Yeah, I pay
Uh,
150 for electric. I pay
I pay
my
over.
water bill's in with my rent, and so is my trash.
I wish Sess were here because in that interview, she had said that they were paying $600 a month rent for that about somewhere between 5 and 8,000 square meters of land, including the house overlooking the ocean. I mean, it is a beautiful spot.
See,
And by the
my
way,
problem, not problem, but my situation is I'm like in Western Pennsylvania. If I was in the cities or like even in New York where Larry is, Larry's got a much better deal than I do. Even though he's in New York, because New York costs more than Pennsylvania, especially when you go to the rural area like I live in.
and by the way, guys, it's me, Ray. Just said hello to everyone in case you
I
missed it. I know Ed did because he doesn't can't see the chat.
Yeah, I can't see the chat, but
No.
I gave her
And we got
stamp.
Girly Cena just came in. Hey, Girly.
Yeah, Girly sent us here. I just gave it's me, Ray. I just gave moderator to. So
All right.
Larry's got an excellent deal though where he lives for his
hey,
apartment.
by the way, someone just tried to hack my email account. I just got an alert. The
Great.
one that I use in YouTube. They sent me an alert saying, "Did you request a reset?"
Huh.
And by the way, Ed, I really do because in my area, there's other apartments I would say are really aren't any better than mine, and they're
Better,
over a
more
grand.
money.
They're over a grand a month.
Yeah, I mean,
Mine's a little over, but it's in good shape. I mean, you guys seen my apartment complex if you watch my videos. You know,
they gave me my home where I live. I came here to move in it and buy it, and I complained so much. They said, well, "What if we give?" Cause I told them I was leaving. They said, "What if we give it to you?" I said, "I'll take it."
but
And I
like
got
said,
a 40-foot wide trailer with an extra half a trailer on it, which is 2 more bedrooms. So I got a 4-bedroom, 2.5 bath home.
Jack is saying I spend $600 plus biweekly back home on groceries, and it's me alone.
like I said,
Hey,
depends
by
on
the
where you
way, so
live.
my answer to all this is I prefer the Philippines over the States for those reasons I
why?
stated at the very beginning. I
Like I
mean,
said,
there's nothing like it. There's nothing like living here. I mean,
It,
it's just
I'm sure I'm
it's
sure it's
amazing.
beautiful. But see, you're at a different place in life too.
yeah, that's what I'm saying, Ed. Like for you, it makes sense to bring your girlfriend and her kid over to the States.
Right.
It really does.
It
But for
does.
me, it
It does
doesn't.
to me also. Yeah.
Exactly. And
It
and
doesn't
I
make sense
wasn't
for me.
saying what I'm doing is wonderful compared to what you guys want to do. If I was
Hey,
further down the road, I'd definitely do what you're doing.
Right.
I'm going to tell you the truth. If I was younger, all right, if I was, let's say I was 50, going on 50 instead of 70, there's no way I'd be doing what I'm going to do. Want to do? I'd be setting myself up for later. But if there was some woman I met online, I would look more into maybe a long distance relationship to try to work things along, or try to see if I can find somebody here in the States that's Filipino
Well,
that
I got
wants
a
to be back.
secret wild card.
What's that?
She wants to have another baby.
So at 50, I'd be willing to do that. At 70, I'm not.
I got you.
You know,
But like I told her, that's on her.
well, I'm just
I
saying,
mean,
at 70 years old, at 70
we could
years old,
do that, but that's on her.
but I would have to see that kid through high school and college. I'd have to live into my 90s. There's no guarantee that's going to happen.
I can't see even my own son through college, but I can get him through Votech and down the road. My
That's
son's not
But
exactly college
that's
material.
that's the way you do it. That's exactly the way you do it
that's
these
still
days.
setting him up for life.
Listen,
You're setting him up.
I haven't talked a lot about this, but I know I've mentioned it somewhere along the line. It's a waste of time and money for most of us
to go to college.
to go to college.
It really, there's a lot of kids going to
These days, I wouldn't do it. I wouldn't spend the money.
There's so many
gotten too
jobs that
expensive.
It's
No,
gotten
no,
too
not just that.
expensive, and you're not getting any return on
You just
investment.
bust in.
And this is basically the reason why a lot of people are sending their kids out of the country in order to get their college education. They just can't afford. They just can't afford it, and they just don't believe in it. They just don't believe they're going to get a return, on their money here in the States or in the States.
I fell off, gang.
We
But
noticed.
no, trade school is great. I mean, technical college is where I started. I went to LA Trade Technical College.
I didn't tell you what my son did last week.
What do you do?
He took my 20-year-old Volvo that I love so much to school, and he put new brakes on it and cut the rear rotors and a new fuel filter and a new radiator hose. And he did all kinds of work. All I had to pay for was the parts.
Beautiful.
And then last night he put all new coil packs over the spark plugs.
Hey, Mike is saying better in the Philippines than the USA just because less stupidity in the Philippines. I
Not if I
tend to
show up,
agree.
Mike. Come on.
I tend to agree with them. You know something? Here's another thing, that
Well,
bugs
there's
me.
a lot less regulation, and that has a
Well,
lot of advantages.
For the moment, it does, but they're regulating the crap out of everything right now.
Well, so's everybody, but it's even getting worse here.
But anyway, it's better here for the reasons that have already been stated. And I would not, if I were a Filipino, I would be, and I were married to an older guy, I would be very, very cautious about saying, yeah, I want to go to the States. I want to go to the States because I want all these improvements in my life.
Well,
the objective for most Filipinos when they decide to come to the States is to make money and send it back home to help the family.
And that's what she wants to do as well.
Right.
But I told her bring her family in under trained migration, and we could buy a farm.
Yeah, exactly. That's not a bad idea at all. Really.
Her brothers and their family can come live on the farm. So there's ways of doing it.
Jack says he don't want no kids. He's very clear about it.
But not everybody wants kids. I mean, I don't have any. I mean, if it had happened when I was younger, I would have been all right with it.
So then you have to be with a
As long as they were
Filipina that already has a kid or doesn't want any kids.
Or it's too
Jack.
old for kids.
I mean, what do I tell her? She already has 2, and she wants a little girl.
Well, no. Hey, if I meet the right woman and she has kids, that's one thing. I don't want any more.
I got
want,
you.
Because like I said, by the time I would raise them, I'd have to be in my 90s to get, almost 90s to get them out of college or trade school.
We're at different seasons in our life, Larry.
Yeah, much different seasons.
I still got to go for another so many years. And I got a scare this year thinking I had cancer, and I am kind of lucky.
And Nicole and Steve family says hello to everybody. We also got
Hello.
Bide 01 saying hi to everybody. I'm not sure how she pronounces that name.
But no, these are all
I've been known
important
to
points.
butcher names on my live streams.
Well, like I said, I mean, if I was going to stay in the States, I'd go to the South after I retire.
It's hard to do these days, though, Larry.
No, that's what I'm saying. If I stayed, I'm saying if I was to stay in the States.
Well, but
I'm sorry, I'm in New York State. You think it's going to be more expensive down south than it is here?
I'm not talking about it. Yeah, but back up. I'm not talking expense. I'm talking the climate change weather. Everything's getting blown apart and flooded.
Yeah, but it still beats the hell out of New York where you're freezing and getting snowed in.
Well,
It's the
I don't know.
I don't want
that
around the
he's
cold.
worried about.
I'm tired of the cold.
Dang, Jack, you know what? I'm going to send you a microphone, man. Brother, I'm going
Have
to
you
send
ever
you,
lived through a major hurricane, though, Larry?
Jack, I'm
I've
going
been
to
through
send you
tornadoes.
I'm going to send you a microphone, man, so you don't have to use that
Have you ever been
laptop
through a
mic no
tornado?
more.
What was that, Larry?
Have you ever been through a
Send you
tornado? I've
my
been through a
address.
couple of those,
Yeah, I've been through a few of
I'll send
them.
you my GCash number.
and I've been through more than 30-foot swells out at sea too. Believe me, I've been through
Smart.
some rough weather.
You'll take the cash instead. Hey, guys, hey, again, Jack has reminded me, you know what? Everybody panicked here in the Philippines because Gcash went down for a day. They were only supposed to be
Yeah.
down for a couple of hours for upgrading, and Gcash was down. I mean, we couldn't do nothing with it. And I'm telling you, a lot of people's lives, they depend on that Gcash.
What is
In
Gcash?
Western Union,
It's kind of like a
Western Union
PayPal,
also
but
does
it's a
that for
competitor
like
to
2-3
PayPal,
days.
but it's
I'm
in the
like,
Philippines
Okay.
only.
What'd you
Right?
say, Jack, about Western Union?
Western Union went down one time for 3 days straight over here.
Oh
Like,
my
what?
gosh. So people were like, I could imagine they had to run over to LBC or they had to use some other method of getting money to people. But I wonder how
At
much
one
money,
point,
I wonder in the end how much money that ended up costing Gcash and revenue. Their downtime was supposed to be, it was supposed to happen during the sleeping hours. But instead,
Mhm.
something happened, something went wrong, which often happens when they do an upgrade. And so,
Hey,
At
Dan,
one point in time, like
Anna
they're
Mae
like,
says
"Hey, you
East
should go
West
to
or
the
Dan?
Robinson's Mall," and I'm like, "I don't have the money to go there. That's why I'm trying to go here because it's close by my house, and I can get a free ride there."
East West in the house.
She just said East West or Dan. I don't know what she means by
So
that.
does that
East
mean
West Mall?
Oh,
East
trending
West?
bank East West. She goes trending bank East West.
Oh, bank.
All right.
Okay.
All right. So I was just thinking, I forgot to talk about as long as Gcash is up and running, then I'm going to give away this this 100 peso bill today. But one of you is going to win that. I don't know who yet. I don't know who yet. That won't even buy you a cup of coffee at Starbucks.
Well, it'll buy me a cup of coffee at work.
But we do have a whole bunch of folks in the house. We got Alfie's here. Alfie won the other day, though. We got
We got Nicole. We got
yeah,
Mark,
we got Larice,
Maurice,
got Nicole, got
Crystal, Menge,
oh, I already know who the winner is. I already know who the
Ryder
winner
Venture.
is. Yeah. Okay, I'm going to announce the winner. So
Why, thank you.
it ain't you.
Oh,
It's neither one of us. He won't give it to us.
I'm
You got to be in the
teasing.
Philippines because he gives it out through Gcash, and Gcash is not available here.
I got you. I was teasing.
That's why I went like this. Me.
Hey, it's not available yet there, but I keep hearing stuff. You know, I'll tell you what. Today's winner, you can send me hate mail if you'd like.
Okay.
But you probably
You're
won't
right on
because Filipinos don't do that. But today's winner is going to be Jaylyn. Jaylyn, I hope I have your Gcash number so I can send this over to you. But if not, one of y'all send me Jaylyn Valericis
And Kueko, how you doing?
Gmail account, and I will send that off. You are today's winner chicken dinner. I wish you could buy a chicken dinner these days, but it won't.
Oh no, I'll buy you like a couple.
Won't even buy a chicken dinner in the Philippines?
No, it still will buy you a cup of coffee and a donut. Might be Pandasol, but that's what it'll buy you. Something like that.
I had chicken a couple months ago in Philadelphia, and I went to a Chinese restaurant. You should see how they serve chicken. They take a whole roasted chicken and they just take a meat cleaver to it and chop off chunks like
Yeah,
slices.
Oh, that's what they do in
yeah.
the Philippines.
That's where
They
they do
don't
it in a
sell
lot
you
of
a
Asian
chicken
countries.
I
leg or
hate
a
that.
wing or a breast. They just start a meat cleaver at one end and
Oh
give you
yeah,
chunks of bone and everything.
oh yeah.
It
That's
was
how they
good.
I'm
do.
sticking my
That's how they do in the
mouth
Philippines.
to pick out
That's how
bones.
they do it in China.
It was very good. I'll give it that.
Yeah, I don't see anything wrong with that. It's very tasty.
Do you know what was neat about it though? I'm in Chinatown and I went to where the Chinese people actually eat before they go to work. And when I walked in there and bought food, obviously I stand out. I'm a American eating in a real Chinese restaurant. And the guy's like, "You just let me know you need more. You just come up, we sell you some more." Like I ordered like a plate with the chicken, some rice, some sauce. He said, "Anything you want, we sell you more. Don't worry." They were very
Tim is saying
accommodating and
Tim is
nice.
saying a roasted chicken now. What is that? Manuk lechon is 150, 180 pesos. I'm overpaying then.
That's
I'm
pretty cheap.
overpaying because I think I'm paying 220
230.
for a whole chicken here in Bye Bye City.
Wow,
It's
Yeah.
like 230
that's
here.
still cheap. A 4-piece KFC meal is about $9.89. That's all. That's almost
But you don't you can tell what
that's
pieces of chicken
500
you're eating
pesos.
here in the Philippines.
Wow, that's
They
a lot
chop
of
it all
dough.
up.
And it's only chicken, a
Hey
biscuit, and
Dan,
like honey mashed potatoes with
hey
4 pieces
Dan,
of
hit me
KFC
up on
chicken.
Facebook. It's the same name, my name.
Anyway, I'll be Man, Minnie and I we're going to be hitting the road pretty soon. We're going to be a few more days here, and then once we get some business taken care of, we're gonna be heading out to Cebu for I think a week or two, just enough time to set up our trip to um, Manila and all parts north. And I know we'll be stopping off in Pampanga, Angeles City, because I love the place. Very, 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 very nice place to visit. And I want to go ahead and get over to Clark to see what's going on at Clark. And also the Subic Bay. I
You
think
can
we'll
come
go to
visit me and
Olongapo.
you can come visit me in
Philly in
Bacolod
the
City.
Philippines does a lot about Angeles City. He lives there, and I have his email if you'd like it.
Oh no, we don't care for each other.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, we don't get along too well.
Oh, why? What happened?
Huh?
What
Oh,
happened?
nothing. It's just that I think I
Don't agree
criticized him
upon
one.
things.
I think I criticized him one too many times, and he got mad.
Oh, well,
That's
that can
not
happen.
Tim,
No,
because Tim
Brian.
lives in Angeles City.
Yeah, remember I tend to chase friends away.
I have that problem sometimes. I can relate.
Yeah, I tend to chase friends away sometimes. Some leave sooner than later.
A friend of mine down the street here where I live sent
Yeah.
me this crazy looking guy and this pair of overweight ladies dancing, and he's like, "Oh, look at these hillbillies." And I texted him back because I thought it was degrading and insulting that he would even repost a video like that. So I said, "Are they your relatives? You don't talk to me anymore." I thought it was
I just say,
horrible
where'd you
of him
get
to
the
put
picture of
something out
me?
there like that. What was that?
I said, I just say, where did you get the picture of me?
Well, I
And then
just
of
thought
course,
Dan
then
put up a video of a mug with a face on it. I mean, it's a cartoon face. But I asked him where he found the not mug, a flower pot with my picture.
yeah, it actually was sitting on that restaurant that brought us the pretend meat, the little tiny miniature meat.
Yeah.
And so I was saying, well, I got to get some mileage out of this some kind of way. And I saw that little thing sitting there,
Yeah.
and I looked at it and I go, hey, this looks a little bit like Lazy Larry. I know what I'll do. I'll do a short video with it. And I just got my Oppo phone. All I started doing was just holding the thing and playing with it. And then the rest of it was just video editing and
Well,
playing around with the speed. And it ended up getting like 600 views.
I thought he was being degrading and, like, how should I say it? I thought he was degrading overweight women and insulting
Who was
people.
doing that?
The guy down the street from me.
Ah,
So I sent him. I said, "What is this? Your relatives?" Because I just thought it was inappropriate what he put up, making fun of people. I don't like to make fun of other people, regardless of their situation, because you never know. It could be you.
well, I'll tell you what I did. I'll tell you what turned me off. About Philly in the Philippines. Was that he? Let's just say that he's a product of his own success. How about we just leave it at that?
I don't understand what you're saying there, but what I kind of lost taste with him over was like when he was building his store and running around. It was one thing, but now every day he just goes to like Walking Street for breakfast.
Well, yeah, that's one thing, right? That's one thing. And then it was the way that it was the way that he made fun of regular guy. At first I was laughing about it, the way that the regular guy tried to get his attention when he was out there having coffee in front of one of the hotel restaurants. And he kept calling him over. And I guess he felt as though regular guy was being a little bit too intrusive, and so he
Well, Kenny,
and so they had a little bit of a fight of a
Argument.
thing going on between them on the YouTube channel. And I thought kind of like that it was a little bit beneath him, actually a little bit beneath both of them, to go that direction on it,
Yeah,
So
I didn't see any of that, and
I stopped watching them after that. I just kind of went, you know what, I'm losing interest. I'm losing interest in this guy. Of course, he did hit over 100K subscribers. And what am I up to? 2,600 and change.
yeah, but I'm still one of his subscribers, and I probably haven't watched him in 6 months because, like you're saying, he's a product of his own success. He changed his channel, and it ain't what it used to be.
Well, that's what he's feeling his way. I think that it happens to us from time to time.
Well,
And
we
he's
all get
just-
lost along the way, sure.
Yeah, and he's going for the low hanging fruit, But I'll tell you what really turned me on about him. What I really like about him, the best videos he did was when he was doing the scuba diving. Absolutely loved it. Love those videos.
It's like I see a lot of people getting lost along the way in the United States. This white supremacist movement is definitely can't be ignored. It's here, but yet it's not who we are. But it's being sold as who we are, and it's sad.
Yep.
One of the problems with white supremacy,
I don't want to go back.
it's been around so damn long.
Because of that.
But it's starting to make a comeback, and it seems to do that whenever there is a downturn in the economy.
Yes, I agree with you, Larry, and I think we're better and bigger than that because we're all more alike than we're different. Even the Russians love their children, and I'll leave it at that. Everybody loves their family, and we all want to take care of our family and prosper.
Oh shoot! You just reminded me of something else that I was going to mention, and that is that we're seeing a ton more Eastern Europeans show up in the Philippines, and their YouTube channels are they're very successful, and so I'm thinking to myself, they do a really, really good job of giving you the details of what their lives are all about. And so I encourage you, I don't have a list of names yet of the channels, but I'm going to slap together a list of names, and you go in there and I think we can learn a lot from watching these guys that are moving into Thailand, Indonesia, and
Dan, I don't know.
now the
I don't.
Philippines.
I don't know what you know about me and my background. I was an Eastern European beer rep in the city of Philadelphia for more than 10
Yeah.
years. But I was
Oh
vice
yeah,
president
got
of the
that.
company.
Polish beer guy.
Well, half of Polish beer is really German beer because half of Poland was Germany up until World War II.
And you
And
know,
Slovak
Thailand
beer.
also, one of the reasons why Thailand beer is so tasty is because they also were taught by German master beer brewers.
Yes. And I had Russian beer, Ukrainian beer. Funny enough, when they were making Molotov cocktails in Lviv, Ukraine at the beginning of the war, they were putting it in Lvinsky bottles. I used to sell Lvinsky. I know the plant. I know the beer. So, there's a lot of short history over there in them little countries.
Are you implicating yourself in this thing?
Nah, not at all.
Who entertaining who?
No, he said by
Yeah,
implicating
actually,
myself.
I thought most of the people knew what the background was. That's why we appreciate you being here.
Well, I just
You have a
know.
lot. You have a lot to offer the stream, especially when it comes to
Alcohol.
yeah, especially when it comes to alcohol. Well said, Larry. Larry
I
said
make
the
that
word, so I didn't have to.
I make that Maple Mountain Mist.
Yeah, it's Maple Mountain Mist,
Honeydew.
which the way you describe it, it makes me want to try it. Let me tell you.
I want to try the honeydew.
Yeah, the honeydew's good too. It's shine with a shot of honey with it. I found out by putting a little sweetener in it, it sold well. And
hey, you know what I didn't mention the other day? Speaking of honey, Larry, you know what I didn't mention the other day? I didn't have the heart to tell Brent over there at Beekeeping in Paradise.
Yeah.
We were sitting there drinking the coffee, right, and talking shop. And I didn't have the heart to tell him that his videos are just too damn long, and that's why nobody watches his channel.
Well, he should break them up, maybe then.
He should make each one two.
Hey everybody! Listen, sorry I'm late.
Maybe Brent is listening.
I was telling Leonard earlier. Welcome, Leonard.
Yeah, Ed, how are you?
Remember the girl I told you I met at my therapy appointment the other day, who I thought was gorgeous?
Yeah.
The one that put your leg between her breasts?
Yes.
That one?
Yes. That one
is all about that one.
That is
she gave me butterflies. I mean, my God, I'm 58 years old and I got butterflies. My regular therapist was back today, and I'm like,
oh, disappointment.
Hey, Pacquiao.
No, not at all. And I said she was absolutely gorgeous, and Miranda was very nice. And I said she was beautiful. She gave me butterflies, and I'm laughing about it. And we were laughing about it when they were wrapping my legs today.
So yeah, you guys chill out. Mertz is handling it. She knows what she's doing. She's gonna go back and double check the replay. Come on, you guys.
You want to hear a funny one?
Don't panic. Don't panic. She's not gonna forget anybody in there.
No stress here, guys.
I'm sitting there in my underwear, and they massage my legs, and I got this paper gown like over my underwear and waist. Well, all I can say is, sometimes when something happens, it sounds like you stepped on a bag of potato chips.
Guys, listen.
Too much information.
I'm so excited. I'm so excited for doing this contest. But I do think, Mertz, that it does irritate some people that I'm not giving away all the money in like little bits and pieces, you know. I realized that it would have gone a long way in terms of increasing subscriberships and views in the live stream. More people probably would attend if I were giving it away.
It would
But
sure
listen,
help me out if you came to America and like handed out $1,000 bills.
yeah, but you
I'll
guys,
take one too.
Hey, a couple
you guys in
thousand
this,
would help a bill or
you
two.
guys in the comment section today, you're gonna have a ton of chances to win the money. So one of
No,
you
we're
is
not. We're going to club
definitely
you to death.
No.
one of you is going to win. One of you is going to win. But I have learned something, you know, and that is that
Hey,
I
Jack.
now know why Jack and Sir Luke and others, right, go to Pacquiao Mertz in order to put together the program, you know.
My
Talk.
Gcash number is right up there somewhere.
I'm just
Like I
happy
said,
to sit here and laugh.
Big Mac Daddy, he was saying to people in the comments section, you, I, Jack, and Leonard, and Dan himself, we're the peanut gallery.
Yeah.
They're the-
Yep.
so we don't
Welcome
count.
to the peanut gallery.
Yep.
Welcome to the peanut gallery.
Well,
Yeah,
feel
and
like I
I
belong.
Larry, I failed to give the disclaimer. I just realized that. Don't listen to anything that Dan has to say, nor take it to heart. You know, do not put it into, don't integrate anything that I have to say into your life whatsoever. You'd be making a mistake. Whatever
Maintain
you're
our
doing,
ability to smile.
yeah, whatever you guys are doing in your life that's working, you just redouble that effort if such a thing exists. Do what works for you.
Double down.
And the MC, how are
Double
you?
down. Yeah, exactly. Don't do anything I suggest.
Ma Bill
not-
Torres.
Yeah, you got to go your own way. You know your culture way better than I
And
know.
Maurice, how are you?
Than I know your culture.
Well,
Oh, by the way, I did want to touch base on something else. The lip pointing videos that you guys have sent me, they are spectacular. And every time I go, I'm working on the editing now and searching around for some music for the lip pointing video. But it's going to turn out fabulous. You guys did such a great job sending me the videos. I just want to mention that I truly appreciate you for doing that. But some of you, right? Some of you could not hold back your laughs. And the giggles and the laughs is what really makes this video. And so I just wanted to say thank you so much. I don't know when I'm going to post it, but I'm going to be posting this very, very soon. I thank you
Hello, Anime.
so much.
Hey,
And
Dan,
Beth?
Jack, where's your beer? Right there.
Yeah, exactly. Where's exactly? Where's my coffee?
Mm-hmm.
I figured you'd be having donut withdrawal by now.
We're pretty close to that. By the way, so the lip pointing thing, also, I got another idea as a result of it, right? And so the other idea is that I'm going to do all lip pointing videos. It's going to be Dunkin' Donuts, and then they're going to be all Dunkin' Donut employees. That's going to be the next one. The next one after that is going to be Jollibee. The one after that is going to be Shakey's Pizza. And so I'm going to go ahead and start making a separate lip pointing video. You know, it's going to be the Filipina girls of Dunkin', you know, and then I mean, I'm going to start a whole franchise. I mean, it's just so much fun to do.
Please don't
Sounds
put
good.
Greenwich pizza in there. Please don't put Greenwich pizza in there. They totally suck.
Which one's that?
Yeah, Greenwich pizza. It's terrible.
Never-
Greenwich Pizza.
Oh, Greenwood.
Greenwich, Greenwich.
Where's that? Greenwich, New Jersey?
Yes, sir.
No.
Are you in Greenwich, New Jersey? Oh,
It's
in the Philippines.
I'm in
Did
the
you say you like the pizza or you don't like the pizza?
I don't like it.
You don't like it. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's challenging to eat their pizza for me. I'm telling you.
Dan's got a pizza video coming up.
Mhm.
Mac Daddy's giving lessons.
Yeah, I'll tell you what. I actually like Pizza Hut in the Philippines over Shakey's Pizza. I don't know why the
What
pizza.
about Yellow
Yes,
Cab?
sir.
Everybody brags about Yellow
You
Cab.
know, no.
I
I'll tell
heard
you,
a lot of
I've had Yellow Cab and I don't like it. I'll tell you what.
Jack likes yellow cab.
No.
I'll
Yellow
tell you
Cab,
what. For
no.
some reason,
No.
Oh, then it's Pizza Hut you're talking about.
the Pizza Hut pizza here is way different than it is in the States. I have no idea why.
Well, I'm sure probably different cheese and
Yeah,
Different
it
sorts of
just
ingredients.
is
Yeah.
so yummy.
It tastes good.
Mark is here. Mark,
Pizza Hut
how's it going, Mark?
is good.
It's like where I live here in the Laurel Highlands.
Beth,
You cannot
Beth
find
is saying
Philly
she
cheesesteak.
Beth is saying she loves Yellow Cab pizza, but I've had it. I found it to be okay. It wasn't bad,
Well,
but
you
it
gotta
wasn't as
oh,
good as Pizza Hut.
Dan,
Okay.
you got to remember now. She's coming at it
Yellow
from
Cab is like
someone
Yeah.
that's had pizza only
Yep.
in the Philippines, probably.
Right.
yeah,
Right.
and
Or,
it, and don't they
so that's what
make
they're
them
used
too
to.
sweet?
Mark is working. Mark is working. He's in the BG.
Well, here's something to think of too. Here in the States, we got New York hand tossed, and then we have
Chicago deep
pan
dish.
pizza. Yeah, Chicago.
Chicago
Well, no, Detroit deep dish. Chicago, of
deep
course,
dish.
is a deep dish too.
I,
You know how they invented Detroit deep dish pizza?
Accident.
Nope.
I'm
Never
from
had it.
Detroit.
Never even heard of it.
Well,
I'm from
Detroit
Detroit.
has a deep dish pizza that's famous from a bar in Detroit,
Well, like
and
I
it
said,
was
I've
a
never heard of
GM.
it.
It was a GM parts pan
You
that
know
they
what? I
stole
wonder
from
if you
the
can make.
factory and cooked pizza in.
Can you make a decent pizza out of
Yes,
donut
sir.
dough?
I
Uh,
doubt it.
it's a little on the sweet side, little bit
Yeah.
much sugar,
Yeah.
because donuts are sweet dough. I'll tell you what you can make from that donut dough is a great sweet roll. It'll
Oh
make
yeah,
a great hamburger roll.
that's true too.
That Detroit pizza, she's a thick girl, and she good.
Too much
And
too much bread
it's
for me.
good.
I like thin
Beth said
crust.
she'd like to try a
Have you
pizza
eat that?
from the States sometime.
Oh,
Have
sure,
you
but I
guys
think
ever
you can get
tried it?
close
You
if you
have
go.
at least
If
one time.
you go to Shakey's Pizza, you can get pretty
Edward,
close.
Edward,
The thin
um,
crust, the thin crust, not the
you
thick
go
crust.
to
For
Yeah,
some reason, Shakey's original pizza was not a thick crust pizza. It was the paper thin pizza.
that's what I like.
Yeah, and so they do a great job with
Shakey's
that. They do a lousy
originated.
job on the thick pizza,
Now
on the
here in the
on the pan
States,
Shakey's
pizza.
originated
Pizza Hut
in
makes
the
a
U.S.
nice thin and crispy crust.
I don't like
Who
the thin
does?
and crispy, but I like the thin.
Is the
Larry,
Detroit style
who makes the
is
crispy
best
crust?
thing.
That was Leonard. You'd have to ask him.
Pizza Hut.
Leonard, Pizza
Pizza
Hut.
Hut.
Ah.
Little Caesars does too here in the States.
Well, like
Yeah,
I said, I like the one right above the
Vomit.
crispy one. I like the pizza right above it.
Pizza.
I prefer regular pizza. The New York style pizza is good over
Yeah,
Chicago.
yeah, I agree with you, Larry. New York's like the best.
It's a lot better than Chicago. Now, I like Chicago, but I'd rather have the New York style than the Chicago deep dish.
Yes, I agree with that 100%.
Well, Pizzeria Uno is just like who invented the Chicago pizza.
Beth, are you kidding me? You had pizza with Larice. I would pay.
She said she ate it all.
I would pay to have pizza with Larice. I would pay to have pizza with both of you. I'll buy the pizza. There's probably nothing sexier in the entire world than to see Larice eating a slice of pineapple pizza.
Oh,
Don't
that's
ruin,
sacrilege,
don't
man.
ruin it. You just put
That's sacrilege. You don't put
Oh,
pineapple on
please.
This
pizza.
is a good thing.
No,
I
no, you don't.
Does not belong
That's
there.
sacrilege.
Here we go. Here we go. Dan had to say it. Dan had to say it. Listen, we're at the tail end.
That's worse than spam on it. I'd rather have spam than,
Yes.
than
Hey, ham and
I
spam,
like spam.
green eggs and ham
You
on a
know,
pizza.
Larry, you could make it work with spam.
Yeah,
As I said, I like spam.
we have. We put spam on a pizza. It's delicious.
I can see
know?
that. I could, but
Right
not pineapple. No.
No,
Yeah, so-
pineapple,
Up and low key,
pineapple is for
and fry
pina
it up.
That's like
colada.
putting spinach on it. Why would you want to ruin your pizza?
Really?
Oh, spinach is good.
Uh-huh.
I like spinach, but not on a
That
pizza.
made me flip the
Sausage
table.
and spinach.
No.
Oh,
Sausage
yes.
and mushrooms.
Yeah.
I love the
Shrimp.
mojos. Hey, I got to tell you. So Shakey's, they have mojos, right? The mojos are a fried. It's like a potato, and they're so delicious when they're done right. But you could screw up a mojo potato, and it could be. I'm telling you that should be against the law. If you're gonna make mojos, you got to make them right.
I don't even know what a mojo is.
I don't either.
We
It's
had
a
a great
potato. Potato
Well, we
slices,
are
almost like a potato chip, but thicker. And I don't know what the seasoning is that they put on there, but those mojo potatoes are delicious.
When I was in the Navy in
Oh,
Subic Bay,
hell yeah.
they had a drink they called Mojo. It was a kind of like a mixed fruit, rum, beer, and all.
Is it
all
Oh, you know what,
juices,
Larry?
They call it in some places.
When we get to Subic Bay, we're going to have one of those drinks in your honor. How about that?
I'm just thinking of the old, I got my mojo working too. So
Folks,
Robert Johnson got my mojo working.
it's been 2 hours, and you know what happens at the 2 hour mark?
Yeah,
You
it's
turn
time
into
for
a
us to
pumpkin.
shut down so you can go get your.
It's time to make the donuts.
Yeah.
And so we're going to have
donuts.
we're going to have Larry, lead us out of this live stream. I want to thank
I
everybody.
think Jack has something he wants to say.
Jack, go ahead.
Can I lead us out?
Yes,
He wants to lead us out. Go ahead, Jack.
lead us out, Jack.
Get my.
You
All
just
right.
script up
Thank you,
there.
everybody in the comments that came by, and everybody that came in here in the group chat. And you guys have a good day. Be good to everybody. Be good to yourself. And remember, love yourself. Love everybody around you.
Beautiful.
You guys have a
Beautiful.
Take
Thank
care,
you
Jack.
so much. Thank you so much. Beautiful. We'll see everybody later. See you on the next live.
I'm going to go to Elvy's. See you later. Bye.
Bye. Go to LV. LV loves you. Go to LV.